Today we have a trip planned that I've been looking forward to for a while now. I was contacted by the director of a piece of forever wild sanctuary property in the hundreds of acres. It was an invitation to come and explore and metal detect what they've come to call the ghost town. As far as I understand it, the ghost town is stone ruins of unknown age, unknown purpose. The earliest map I have of that area is 1855, and as far as I can tell, this place was built and used and abandoned before this map was made in 1855. We're going to go today to try to get to the bottom of it with our metal detectors, see what we can find that maybe can put an age on this place and perhaps a purpose. The director is going to meet us there. She's going to show us around. Momentarily, Mike W. should be here to come with us, and I'm going to finish packing up the vehicle. We've got a bit of a trek ahead of us, and I'm excited. Still walking along to the site here, and we're walking through all of this milkweed, and I just asked if they have a lot of monarchs. She said they do, an incredible amount, which makes sense. What a beautiful place. Stone wall up into this big field. She said they have a unfortunate problem with trespassing hunters, so we're wearing orange today. There's not supposed to be any hunting here, but as we've discovered in the past, people don't always pay attention to those posted signs. So the three of us are still hiking along to the site. There's just so much land here. And I had to stop and show you this. It's just a little, well, maybe it's a waterfall, I guess you could consider it. Check this out. Isn't that beautiful? Right down in the base of this little gorge. That's incredible. So we've been walking for maybe 30 minutes, and we just came across the first structure here, which appears to be a bank barn. We're going to cross this little stream here. What'd you find? Mushroom. Let's take a look at that. Oh, interesting. It's only two sides. Beautiful. Awesome. We're gonna take our machines out and see what we can find here. All right, well, my first find here was a strip of lead, which we find pretty often. It was just utility lead melted down for different things. And the second find, and we've been here maybe 2 minutes, is what I think is a giant two-piece button. This is the shank here. The other side, I just took a peek at it. I think has a beautiful floral design on there. Look, isn't that amazing? I'm almost wondering if it isn't a button that would be used for clothing, or if maybe it was a bag, or it's so big. I think this is probably the biggest button I've seen. That's incredible. So it's 2 pieces. Well, lost a piece of it there. Which on the smaller buttons that we find is typically, you know, like post 1820, 1830, but I'm not exactly sure what this is, so this is beautiful. All right, a promising first find. Let's keep going. All right, we have our first really nice high tone here. It's 81, 84. Let's see. Not a coin. This is the first of these I've ever found. I'm excited. It's a heel plate for a boot, and as you can see, it has a heart in it. And the urban legend that I've heard about these, not to be vulgar, but they say that these were worn by prostitutes, and as they walked, they left little hearts in the ground as a little trail to follow. I don't know how true that is, but that's a story I've heard.
So you had a bordello here, is what you're saying?
I don't think so. I think it was a farm, but this is a really cool find. I think that these were actually purchased after the fact to strengthen shoes and boots. You could buy these in sets.
Right, makes sense.
Very cool. Little heart heel plate. All right, let's see what else we can find. All right, we've got a nice high tone here. 83, 84, 85. It's out. That's it.
That's beautiful.
Do you know what that is?
It's brass, right?
Yeah,
it's a bell.
It's a big piece of jingle bell.
Oh my God, it's huge.
It's tomback, which is an alloy of brass. But it's just a chunk of one. That's a nice one.
That's beautiful. I've never seen such a big one.
I've yet to find a whole one this size, but yeah, that's a.
I found a much smaller one up near the house.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but you know, like that.
Sure,
big.
yeah.
But not whole. Even.
Right. It's a big piece of bell.
Wow.
So that bank barn is right down here, and this is the associated home site. We have the basement entrance here, and a lot of times these basements wouldn't be the entire footprint of the building. It would maybe be a quarter of the building or half the building, but this is definitely what I would consider the whole building. So that's exciting.
That's very exciting. And the structure above it would have been log, do you think?
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times we find brick buildings, but I don't think that's what this was. Well, if we find bricks, we'll know.
Whoa,
but
whoa, that would have been a big effort to make bricks.
yeah. Well, let's get the metal detectors out.
Very fun.
All right. Well, I just found what I believe to be, well, first I thought it was a bridal rosette, but the more I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe it's the back of a pocket watch. And the reason I think that is because there is a very intricate design on this. All right, I can barely see this, so I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this. But up in this corner up here, you can see some what appear to be tree limbs. But there's definitely something on there. There's a sun up on top. That's cool. I'm gonna say that that's, maybe it is a bridal rosette. I don't know. I don't think it's a pocket watch. I think it's a bridal rosette now. With a little scene on there. Really cool. Never found one like that. It's mangled, so there's a whole story behind that. But this is the movement plate to probably a mantle clock. All of the little gears and stuff would have all been in those little holes. And sometimes there'll be a brand name on this sometimes. Then we can use that to date it, but that's what that is. Yeah, like I said, it's all twisted up. It would have been nice and square, but and there's a little.
Oh my gosh.
doohickey on there.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh my goodness.
All the gears are gone. I don't know if they scrapped them or took them all off.
There's another smaller something like this one up here too. Oh my gosh.
That's what it is. Probably.
So it would have had a glass face?
I would suspect so, yep.
How did you know that?
I found a few of them.
It's pretty far away from what we think
to be.
It was over
almost on the edge over there.
By the barn. Really cool. So I'm at the base of this giant tree, and I got a beautiful target right at the base. Way down in here amongst the roots, I found, look, it's the other piece of that giant crotal bell. Isn't that amazing? Both pieces. I was just saying how I've never found one this big, and I still have an intact, but this is almost as good. That makes the day. I'm excited. That's a day of firsts today. Amazing. All right. So we just found something amazing for the site. A tag that has a little wire on it at the end here, and it says Frederick C. Decker, and the name of, what is it, one town over from where we are?
That's right, yeah.
One town over from where we are, and on the bottom it says Bed 2, B-E-D 2, and we're thinking hospital, asylum, and there are Deckers in this area, which we can relate to directly. That's incredible. There doesn't seem to be anything on the back, no dates or anything, but something with a name on it of a family in this area. That's incredible.
Wow.
Right next to the cellar, right outside the door. Maybe. We don't know where the door was. Yeah. I'm assuming.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That really is amazing.
So we made our way up the stream quite a ways from the last home site. I was wondering if they'd be related, but I'm not so sure. They're not super close to each other. And we have what appears to have at one time been a mill. I thought at first it was a dam, but I definitely don't think so, because this is a cellar. If it was a dam, this would have been underwater, obviously. Man, that is amazing. I'm gonna stand up on this wall here. Yeah, I bet they had a water wheel in there.
I think so. Well, that was always my guess. I'm so delighted you're here.
This is amazing.
It is, isn't it? It's magical.
Well, let's see if maybe we can find something in the ground here.
Yeah, I don't expect we will, but do you think we might?
We might. Well, we're kind of winding down here towards the end of the day and digging my last holes. And we were just discussing what I suspected the age of this place might be. And I said 1830s, 1850s. And then I just found this, which sure looks an awful lot like a shoe buckle frame, which throws that date estimate out the window. But it's not quite enough of it to for sure be a shoe buckle, so we're gonna stick with the original estimate. Shoe buckles are typically late 1700s. It's a beautiful one too, with a little flower on the edge. I think that's what that is, but I suppose they could have been here around that time and then left around 1830. This is the only thing of this age we found here. It's very cool. All right, this is my find of the day, for sure. I dug it up. Do you know what that is?
It's a door?
No. That is
Part of a gun?
trigger guard to a gun, yeah. That's exactly what that is.
Wow.
This, yeah, this would have gone up in. Whoosh, there would have been a pin through. That is amazing. Let me just check the hole one more time. There's more high tones around. We'll go check that in a minute, but yeah, that's what that is. It's a trigger guard and plate to an old long gun. That's incredible.
What year about?
I have no idea. It's hard to say. I would say it goes along with the history of the building for sure. Awesome. All right, well, I had just said 30 seconds ago, one more hole, and our backpacks are right here. 77, 80. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Well, it isn't a coin, but it is a button. A two-piece button. Get up my toothbrush, flashlight. Oh, wow. It's floral. I always thought maybe it was a military button. But it is a beautiful flower. Another one. You see that?
I do.
Now, what I'm looking forward to here, we've been trying and trying and trying to find a coin today with a date on it so we could get a for sure time frame on this place. And this has a back mark, which I think will do it for us. All right, well, I just had my loop on it, and I'm pretty sure it's Benedict and Burnham.
Benedict and Burnham buttons.
Yeah, the bottom says extra. Do you get it when they were in business? Well, from what we're doing quick Googling out here, I don't have cell service. Mike is doing it.
I'd say like mid-1800s.
Yeah, so it looks like they were in business 1812 to mid-1800s. So that's pretty much in line what I had expected. A little bit earlier, but you know, with that shoe buckle too, threw a wrench in things. But
Thank you, kind sir. And it's beautiful.
we'll call that the last find today.
It's a treasure.
Some writing on it that gives us a date range. All right, well, let's set up what we found today and get a recap.
Okay.
All right, well, Mike is still out there digging stuff up, so who knows if we'll add to this by the end of the day here. But we wound up left to right here. We wound up with a couple suspender clips, and they're both different, which is pretty interesting. The first button we found and the last thing we found, this button here, which are both floral, which is interesting. I thought for sure when I saw the back of that it was going to be a military button, but it's a pretty little flower. This item we found early in the day, and I thought that it was going to be a bridal rosette. It's had a chance to dry, and maybe you can see that. It is what appears to be an elk. I say elk because its chest has a lot of fur on it, and there's like a mountain range in the back. And this doesn't make a ton of sense to me that it would be on a horse bridle. I'm wondering now if it's the back of a pocket watch. It's just brass, pretty thin, but it's very cool. We have our heel plate of unknown ownership. We'll go with the myth on it. Our giant crotal bell, which is somewhat complete. It's broken, but it's somewhat complete. Mike's clock movement plate. The thing I'm most excited about today, which is this trigger guard for an old long gun. Your mind tends to jump straight to a military rifle, but you know, all of these folks had long guns for hunting. I suspect that's what that is. And the most exciting thing historically for this site is this tag that has the name of the suspected owner of the building and a bed number for what we think is probably a hospital, which is amazing. So I'll shake your hand off camera. Well, I have a glove on too. Thank you very much
Pleasure.
for inviting us out.
Our pleasure.
We didn't mention it before, but all of this stuff is going to stay on the property, and we were just happy to be here and explore this beautiful place and find all this really interesting stuff that hopefully gives you a better idea of how old the place is now.
Yes.
We have a range. What did we decide that button? 1712 or 1812
Yeah.
to probably, we found that hurricane lamp, which is 1850, 1860. It's pretty narrow window, as narrow as we can get it.
Except for the buckle.
And then the shoe buckle, which we'll say was
Grandpa
Grandpa's. All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.